There's something in the Haggadah you've probably ignored for years. We're coming to the end of Passover, the final day, or days, for those of you who don't have daily Missal Parashas, is a special Yom Tov dedicated to the miracle of the splitting of the sea. But why do we need one whole Yom Tov dedicated to this one miracle? On the Seder day, we commemorate all the 10 plagues, the blood, the frogs, the lice. So what's so special about the splitting of the sea that it gets its own Yom Tov? The Haggadah already points out that Kriyat Yam Suf, the splitting of the sea, was on a whole different scale. If we say that there were 10 plagues in Egypt with God's finger, there must have been 50 plagues at the sea because it was God's hand. No, it was 200 plagues, it was 250 plagues. What makes the splitting of the sea fundamentally different? We were in Egypt for 210 years. That whole generation was born into slavery. They had no concept of what personal freedom actually is. They were subjects to the strongest empire on earth for generations with no thought or hope for redemption. So when Moshe came and started doing miracles and things started getting worse with the Egyptians, all culminating in the Exodus, the Jewish people realized one thing: God can get you out of anything. No matter how bleak or hopeless your situation is, God can turn the world over to bail you out. Someone once said, don't tell God how big your problems are, tell your problems how big God is. All true. So what more is there to know? When the Jews escaped Egypt, they followed the Ananei HaKavod, the clouds of glory, into the desert. Men, women, and children, all their earthly possessions following a cloud into a desert. Such a cool experience until they get to the sea. They're boxed in on both sides with mountains and barren wilderness. The Egyptians, assuming the Jews must have gotten lost, chased after them and were right on their tail, trapping them from behind. The cloud wasn't giving the Jews any indication of where to go. According to the Midrash, many of them said, what were we thinking? Following a cloud into a desert? And then the sea split. Am Yisrael walked across. The Egyptians pursued after them and all ended up drowning. So what did the Jewish people realize? This whole thing was a setup. God made us wander for 6 days to get us to be trapped, to lure the Egyptians into chasing after us. So we didn't just leave Egypt. There is no more Egypt to threaten us. Now we're really free. So what's the deeper message of the splitting of the sea? That God doesn't just bail us out of trouble. He's not like some Superman who swoops down to save me from the speeding train that's about to hit me. God is the one who puts you in trouble to begin with. So, of course, we pray that the missiles stop falling, that the anti-Semites stop slandering us and terrorizing us. And on a personal level, we don't want to be stuck anymore. We want God to make our lives better, healthier, emotionally and physically, financially. But what we need to stop and ask is, why did God put me in this situation to begin with? There's a reason why we were meant to face the challenges we have. When we start to find bracha, blessing, in the troubles, that's when we begin to experience our own personal splitting of the sea. Chag Sameach.